Hello and welcome back to the Geek on My Sleeve channel. I'm here to talk to you about how to use your phone as a webcam. Pricing on webcams are kind of ridiculous, and honestly, you have a webcam in your pocket. So I've got 3 ways to use your phone as a webcam options, whichever one works for you. Feel free to try all of them. The last one is $5 so that you can get rid of the watermark, but I'd recommend trialing it to see if you like it first. For me, that's one that I thoroughly enjoy. What you're seeing now or here is Logitech C922. So just to give you a side-by-side comparison, I am going to actually pull off my green screen and pull off my filters and adjustments I've made. So we're going to go through all 3 applications, timestamps and or chapter markers in the video description below. Feel free to jump around. So we've got DroidCam by Dev47. It made the list because it doesn't have a watermark, it's free to use, and it's easy. If you just need something quick, DroidCam, yeah. And then next on the list would be OBS.Ninja, and short version is it's a website that you go to on your phone, and or I guess you can do it on your computer as well. You add a webcam source and then you get a URL. You input that URL into OBS, which then allows you to capture it. It is a little more technical to set up. I'll be doing a rundown here. Check the chapter markers to see where that's at. And it's free, no watermark. And another funky benefit is like you don't have to be on the same Wi-Fi. Side note, I've been looking for ways to really do like interviews or have other people onto the channel. Currently, we're using StreamYards where everybody kind of logs into that and then we can send it out live. But there's some limitations and some stuff you can't do where I get a lot more versatility inside OBS. But with OBS.Ninja, all links in the description below, I can collect a source from someone else that's not on the same Wi-Fi if they give me the URL to access it, which is a cool little benefit. So that's why it made the list. And then for the third one, the one that I've used on a couple of our live streams and is probably my favorite so far, is going to be DroidCam OBS. Now the first one, DroidCam, and then the third one, DroidCam OBS, are made by the same creators. The DroidCam was made quite a few years ago, and the DroidCam OBS is their new product. As well as, if you stay tuned to the end, I'm going to give you some bonus content of how to remote into your phone. So essentially how to be on your PC and connect to your phone. I've got 3 ways, possibly 4. One of them is Samsung related, so that's why it's, depending. Anyway, so getting into the first application, DroidCam. So it's as simple as go to the link in the description and or type in DroidCam in Google, download the PC client, go to Google Play Store on your phone and download the app inside there. Open it up on your phone, open it up on the computer. Now, I personally like to hardwire stuff if I can, but this has the option of either. If you have a strong Wi-Fi signal, feel free to utilize that. So by default or first, it's normally over Wi-Fi. If you have your cable plugged in and you've unlocked developer mode on your phone, bonus content at the end, if I remember, then I'd recommend using the USB just because it's typically a more stable connection and it saves bandwidth for other things that you're going to be doing. So, but I guess first thing you should do with your DroidCam is turn on HD mode. Window move for me. And sadly, this one only goes up to 720, so you're not utilizing the full potential of your camera. But for webinars and then even for some of the YouTube content, 720p is perfectly fine. For me, I do most of mine in 1080, so that's why this isn't my primary driver, as well as you end up with the little funky sidebars. Bonus points. Bonus points for DroidCam here. If I can get to everywhere I'm going. So had it set up for the DroidCam OBS, but we're gonna swap over. Oh, another thing, when you switch to HD mode, you'll have to restart your computer. I've already done it, so I didn't need to. And then you can also do the video and audio capture. For me, with where my phone's at and my case that I have on it, the audio wasn't great. So anyway, so we're on both the PC client here, and this is my phone view. I'm gonna open up DroidCam. Now it says over the Wi-Fi, and if you want to do it that way, you literally just take the IP here and you plug it in there, and then you'll hit start. For me, I'm gonna try to do over the USB, so I'm just gonna no device detected. Oh, well, okay, just kidding, because I'm using my Samsung Flow to remote into my phone with the cable. I can't use the cable for this as well, so we're going to make sure we have the correct one here. We're gonna hit start. So we see it on both. Now, normally I mute the preview here just because of power consumption. I don't need to see it. And then I will go to, this is where the bonus points come in for the original DroidCam. Now, I believe we're on 3. Okay, so other than being upside down because of which side I have the cable in, I rotate here, doesn't do it. Anyway, so other than, forget that I'm currently in my preview window upside down, DroidCam can be captured directly as a camera source, which the other two you will need to utilize OBS. And for me, I use it in my constant workflow where I use it for recording all the YouTube content, and I also, utilize it for setting up my virtual cam for other stuff. Not a big deal. If you don't want to do that, DroidCam is super easy, super simple. Select it as an actual DroidCam or as an actual webcam source. The downside is only 720p, and you end up with the little black bars on them. So that's the downside. Alrighty, so we're gonna go ahead and stop that. We're going to jump over to our next one here, which is OBS.Ninja. I just created a URL on my desktop thing for my phone, but for you just go to a web browser of choice, type in OBS.Ninja, link in the descriptions below. For us, we're just going to be utilizing add webcam. And so a couple things that you need to note. First, you'll have your drop down here where you can choose which one you're going to utilize. So typically your back one is going to be higher megapixels, and then you want to hit the cogwheel here, and it is going to, there's only an option of over Wi-Fi, and you're going to want to know the settings here. So I can run this at 720 at 60, or if I go for max, I can do 1080 at 60. So it has the highest frame rate out of any of them, but because it's over Wi-Fi, if you don't have a strong signal, you will possibly run into rubber banding. So that's why I like the other two options for being able to directly connect it in. Anyway, so we've selected our camera, we've selected our resolution. We're going to remember 1080 by 1920 or a 1080 resolution. We're going to hit start. And then at the top, it's going to give you a URL. You're going to copy that and then get it to your phone, or sorry, get it from your phone to your computer, however that works out for you. For me, I was gonna paste it into this, but I've got the clipboards connected actually. So we're going to jump into our OBS view here, and you're going to click add, and it is a browser source. Name it whatever. We're just gonna go OBS.Ninja, and then you're going to replace the URL. Alrighty, so for some reason it wasn't popping up in my browser, which is fine because we wanted to capture it inside OBS anyway. But as you will see here, moving it around here, it's at the wrong resolution, and that's because I hit enter before I was done. Now that information that we that's why we hit the cogwheel, and we know it's 1920 by 1080. That's the resolution we selected, and then we're gonna hit OK. Whoops. Just kidding. It's 1080 by 1920. There we go. Well, okay, now we're wondering why we are the way we are there. All right, well, that didn't work. I was trying to flip it on my phone because I've got it all connected up. Anyway, we are going to, there we go, rotate it inside OBS because stuff and things. So for this one, it has the highest frame rate, which is great, as well as is fairly simple, no downloads needed, a little bit of technical side for putting it into OBS, capturing a browser source, and then setting up the canvas the way you want it. Once you have your OBS.Ninja and or your DroidCam OBS collected, you would hit start virtual cam on your OBS, and then you would swap this to OBS virtual cam. For me, it's showing all 4 scenes because I have a 4K divided into 4 1080 frames set up right now. For you, you'd probably just have one of them going. All right, third one, my personal favorite, because it has a hardline connection, so I'm not using up bandwidth. Yet again, bonus after for how to set up debugging or USB debugging or developer mode on your phone so that you can directly connect it with either of these. But same thing, download the client DroidCam OBS on your phone, and then you have to have OBS already installed on your computer, and it's a plugin. So you'll go to, you'll just Google DroidCam OBS and it will have a plugin for it. How you know it is actually working in it after you've restarted OBS, when you hit this plus icon to add a source, you will see DroidCam OBS. So we're gonna go ahead and name it whatever. Now this one, you've got the resolution options here. So we're gonna set up for 1080. You have the option for Wi-Fi, where you would do like the other, where you could directly input the IP it gives you, or if you want to use the direct connection, then you're gonna have to hit refresh device list, and it takes a little bit of time, but as soon as the icon here goes to the different gray, you'll see your phone on there. So we'll select that. Another thing that got me tripped up is you got to click this little activate button. So we'll go ahead and click activate, and then yet again I'm upside down. So now we've got it inside OBS. Sorry, I'm upside down. So I'm going to hit opposite click. I'm going to hit transform, rotate 180. All right, there we go. Now I'm right side up. So if you don't have a remote connect or a way to get into your phone, it's a little wonky depending on settings. And so we pretty much saw everything that we could do inside here, which is set the base canvas. For video format, I would recommend, I can't remember if I changed that, but use the H.264. For me, that's what my encoder is for my NVIDIA card. So, and then, yeah, hardwire if you can. And then why the remote connect is nice is because if you don't have it, then you've got to pick up your phone and physically touch it on your phone and then put it back. But for example, you can, if you're clicking on your phone, you can turn on your camera or your light. You're already using your camera. Turn on your light, as well as on the phone, you can switch. Whoops, we're already on back. You can switch between your different lenses, and a lot of them. It's kind of wonky, but anyway, a lot of the cameras nowadays have multiple lenses, and essentially, like one is, 5 to 10 zoom, and one is, the 1 to 5 zoom, and they use some of the lenses to guesstimate or judge exposure. So just heads up, switch if you have multiple back or, back facing lenses. Toggle between them on the physical device, as well as you can adjust the generic white balance stuff. You can adjust your exposure values. They've got an exposure lock, which for some of them it will set to auto, to where if you have more light or less light, it will auto adjust. I like to turn on lock. And then you can set up your focus parameters. For me, I like tap. And so, for example, kind of zoomed in there, but I end up, it almost seems like the sharpness is a little too high when I focus it. So normally, I'll get a little closer, I'll tap my phone, and then I'll back off, because now, no, I'm not directly in focus, but I don't have all those harsh, oh, I just said it. Those harsh lines. So we'll tap it again, and so if I'm where I'm at, I get all the sharpness lines through the hair. So I guess extra tip, get a little closer, go ahead and click your phone for your autofocus, and then back off a little, and that's really helped with the sharpness for me. Another reason why I've been primarily utilizing this is because my colors are a little truer, because I'm using my Logitech on this side, and then I've got my DroidCam OBS on the other side. Alrighty, so those are 3 options, 3 ways that you can utilize it. Now we're getting into the bonus content. First thing we're going to talk about is how to remote into your phone. If you have a Samsung device, there's a thing called Samsung Flow. Download it on your computer. Should already be downloaded on your phone. Double check that it's updated, and then you have I guess I can't really adjust it here. It's gonna look a little different. Mine's already connected because I'm utilizing it, and that's what this image up top is here. But you can choose between Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, or a cable. Yet again, I recommend cable just because of a stable connection. It's typically faster, and you're not going to get rubber banding or lose frames because of it, kind of deal. So I recommend using the cable. And then, yeah, Samsung Flow, you'll hit the little smart view thing, and then you'll have to authorize it on your phone, which I can't show you because, yeah, you won't see it until I authorize it, but yeah. Then with that, I can navigate and do stuff on my phone like I normally would. And I guess here's a little snapshot. So Samsung Flow is my favorite. It's native to my phone that I have. Works out very well. If you don't have that, there are a couple other options. I would recommend TeamViewer or AnyDesk. So we'll go ahead and check those out. So links in the description below. Go ahead and download TeamViewer for your computer, and then download TeamViewer. It's going to be support on your phone. So once you have TeamViewer support on your phone, when I first launched it, it asked me to add a couple plugins, and I did. You're going to get an ID, and then on your computer, you're going to type in that ID and hit remote connect. On your phone, you're going to have to authorize it. So if that's you, if you want to do it, you're going to hit allow. And then, start recording. And now, so we'll get this guy out of the way so we're not confused. Now this is our desktop. Seeing our phone. For me, I like to kind of pop it out. Jumped over to the other side. And why I really like TeamViewer is it's pretty good. The downside is it can only be utilized or over Wi-Fi or cellular signal. It can't be used with a direct connection, and that's why it's not my main driver. It comes with several additional benefits, like being able to see the specs and stats of what's going on. Like my CPU load is pretty high. Well, that's because I've got 2 remote connects on it and I'm using it as a webcam. Shows the RAM, yet again, same deal, battery usage, data, all that. So you can do more like, I guess, troubleshooting or support for it. Anyway, we're here about the remote connect. All right, I guess I'll blow it up. That way you're remoted in, and now, like we showed you earlier, you can adjust the things without having to take your phone off your mount, hit all your buttons, put your phone back onto your mount. So for me, with the third option of DroidCam OBS, I would recommend getting one of these. All right, so another way to kind of connect in is AnyDesk. Literally same thing as TeamViewer, except for it is different company. So you would download AnyDesk on your computer. Interface looks a little different. You would download AnyDesk. You don't need to do the support one for this one on your phone. It notifies you that sometimes battery optimization may affect your performance. So I've already done it, but it'll ask you to go through and adjust the settings. So then you've got your address, and then kind of same thing here. You would just type that in. Then you would hit connect, and then whoever you're trying to remote into, or you would have to accept it on your phone, and then hit start. And then, so this is where we, it's the same thing. One thing that's kind of sad is you can't pop it out. But I mean, resize or maneuver your windows however you like. Boom, and then, yep, same deal. We just, one thing that is cool about it is you actually see like the touch inputs on your phone. So I thought that's pretty snazzy for if you're helping somebody else out, and you know, if grandma's like, how do I do this on my phone, you can be like, oh, well, download AnyDesk and you can remote in and help them out. All right, and for the other bonus points that we were talking, if you are trying to utilize the upside down, anyway, if you are trying to utilize the USB options for any of these, which I would highly recommend, because then it pulls it off of sucking bandwidth from your Wi-Fi if you don't have high speed, as well as it is going to be a lot more stable, not rubber banding. You on your phone have to unlock developer mode, and to do that you're going to go to settings. You're going to, it's in a little bit different spot for everybody. Go to your settings, search for build number. You're going to tap it 5 to 7 times. Once you get close, it's going to give you a notice. Once you get done with it, it's going to be like, do you want to unlock developer mode? I'm already one. Or yeah, so it says developer mode is already turned on. Now that you have developer mode unlocked, for me, it's at the bottom. If you can't find it, go ahead and search it. And there are a lot of interesting settings in here. A lot of people don't need them, but if you're gonna connect your phone to your PC, you'll need it. The big thing you need is USB debugging. And essentially that says, hey, when I plug in a USB cable, I'm able to do more than just charge the device. Most of the time, your USB is plugged into a wall outlet, or, you know, is plugged into a wall outlet, so you won't need the data transfer and all the extra. And then after you have your USB debugging enabled, you want to go to default USB configuration, and whichever one says transferring files. So normally by default it's set on charging phone only. You can set it for transferring images, where it just pulls them off. You can set it for MIDI, which is essentially typically a music device, but that you can use it for inputs for another device. USB tethering is going to be if I have internet on my phone, but I don't have an internet connection on the device that I connect to it. You can use your phone as essentially a Wi-Fi card, and that's what the tethering is for the USB. But we want transfer files, and that's going to allow you to, you know, transfer files as well as other things. All right, and that's going to wrap it up for us. Feel free to leave a like, hit that, turn on the bell notification, leave a comment below if this worked out for you, or if it didn't. If you're having trouble with it, I'm always happy to help troubleshoot with people. Join the Discord and the link in the descriptions below, and we can talk more about it. Thank you. Goodbye.